good. And here we are, we're talking with the the International Center of the Capital Region. You're brand new to the team,
Brand
huh?
new, fresh, yes.
Yes, tell me about your job.
Oh, so, my name
You're
is...
taking over her job, right?
Yes,
Is that right, Holly?
So my name is DTrae Carter. I'm the new Director of Community Engagement for the International Center of the Capital Region.
Yeah.
Taking over for Holly, and my responsibility will be as a liaison courtesan, not courtesan, that's the wrong word, but
It's a good word.
It's a good word, but being able to showcase what the impacts ICCR has in the Capital Region.
Yeah, you're active, and yet you seem to have a low profile. In other words, people, when they find out you're there, they go, wow, that's really something. And I think because you're always kind of working behind the scenes, working with people that are coming into the community from maybe traveling, say a tour group from I want to say part of the governmental or an NGO or something like that coming through. And how do you find out about them, and how do you coordinate that, Tracy?
Oh, thanks, Julia.
Okay. Yeah, and you mentioned, you were joking about historic. We are historic. We've been around since
Yeah, I know,
1956.
yeah.
So we've been in the community bringing groups. Originally, we started out as direct support for immigrants and refugees, and that role was changed about 30 years ago. And now we're into international exchanges,
Yeah.
these professional exchanges, and they come through the State Department through the program called International Visitor Leadership Program, IVLP, as we like to call
Yeah,
it.
they usually notify that we're coming in,
Yes,
and we're coming to
yes.
Albany because it's the capital of New York, and we blah, blah, blah.
Right, and there are people that are identified by our embassies around the world. All 200 countries could be considered, that are emerging leaders in their country who can come and benefit from connecting with resources here. And it's not just a one-way, it's a great exchange, and hopefully we'll create all kinds of friendships and connections. And some of these people come back to multiple different exchange programs. It's not just one time, on my one chance to go to America. If they like it, they'll be able to apply for other kinds of exchange programs.
Do you keep it, I'm going to use the word incorrectly, but sterile in the sense that we're going to take you here and there and that, or do you try to connect them mano a mano, you know?
Oh, person to person. Oh, absolutely. And people, we do a home hospitality. People can host a dinner for our visitors, which is great. Someone did, some volunteers did a picnic in Bethlehem Park with people from Ethiopia. That was wonderful. They had a soccer game going on the grass.
I mean, isn't that great? Isn't that
it's just
such
that
a great way to bring people together rather than governments together?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely, and these people represent all kinds of, the Ethiopian group were small business people. We had the guy, coffee grower, he was head of the Ethiopian Coffee Growers Association. I had the best time talking to him because I'm a huge coffee person. How
That was in Ethiopia they had coffee?
Yeah, Ethiopian coffee's amazing.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I
And
know,
he gave us
I
all
was thinking
packets of
I
coffee.
think of Central America.
Yeah.
being
Oh, yeah,
coffee.
no, but Ethiopia doesn't sell enough. They want to sell more coffee, but their
Okay.
coffee is extraordinary. And so that was fun for me to sit there with the head of the Ethiopian coffee growers and talk to them about coffee. It was, those kind of things that you get to have with the home hospitality and the professional resources that we have. Get to meet with them. They met with the New York State Business Council, the new Albany Black Chamber of Commerce. Dre was actually able to be there. And the Martin Group, we love them because they're kind of an integral organization that works. Business that helps with PR, government, business, and so they kind of add a new perspective. So we're always looking for interesting resources to connect with our groups. We have a lot of groups this summer. It was really kind of a hair-pulling experience. I was new to the role, but we got asked to do a lot of groups, and we had 7 groups in 5 weeks.
Do you have, oh my goodness, that's a
8
lot.
groups, sorry, 8 groups, right, 8 groups, and it was intense, from Egypt, Iraq, Pakistan,
Kazakhstan, almost 30 countries.
Almost 30 countries.
But to
Yeah, we
answer
have
your
a
question,
multi-regional group.
we tailor
Amazing.
every trip that we have visitors.
I never realized there were so many that came through here. So what is your background, Tracy?
Oh, well, glad you asked. I'm originally from Utica, New York. I went to Siena College, and I guess Holly thought I was a great person for this role because I've had a desire to travel all over the world as far as I could.
So do you get to travel?
Yeah, well, after college, I moved to Japan for a year.
Oh, you were in Japan.
And then since then, I've been trying to find just remote spots to find.
So
and
you
learn
have
and
a
go back.
feeling about other groups, other countries, and I think there's just not enough of that. There's so much xenophobia that it alarms me sometimes when I see that. and this may be off the cuff, but are you at all involved with the asylum seeker?
We're not actually able to take a position on that, but people
Well,
are
I didn't know whether
people
you
are
had any
supporting
role in it, is what I'm asking. Your answer is no.
No, not really. We're supporting organizations that help them, like
Okay.
RISE, but we are.
Because you mentioned early that in your early years you did migrant. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So I just kind of wondered, did anything
Right, I
work?
mean, our heart is there, we help, we connect people to people, again. that's
Yeah, but
always
you're
our
more,
role.
you
It's-
work with
it's-
State Department.
Right, it's a different mission.
Yeah, I see.
Because there are groups that are helping.
Absolutely.
And obviously, personally, people can help and, but it's just being welcoming and open and all that great exchange that comes from meeting people in a park and playing soccer with them and, or having a dinner. We had another volunteer, she had 30 people at her house. We had a large group, she invited
30?
all of
Oh,
them
my goodness.
in her backyard, and her son is a chef and at Indian Ladder Farms, and he cooked all the food for the group, and they were just, I'm still getting emails saying, we had such a great time, we had such a great time. And that's the thing with this, is just that they don't just come here one time and, okay, never see you again. They're all like, come back and visit our country and
Talk about a
connect.
melting pot.
Yeah, exactly. It's just such it's the best part of our jobs, is meeting these groups.
You really like working,
Oh,
doing
I
what
love
you're
it.
doing,
I
yeah.
love it. So,
Yeah,
so we do other programs, exchange programs too. We do Open World, which was with Eastern Europe. To our point about helping people, we're not doing the direct support, but we like to raise the profile of immigrants and refugees. And we are hosting an event in November, the Achievement Awards.
That's
So
what I was
we're
going to ask you about, because that's really one of the reasons you're here, is to
Yes.
talk about that. So
Yes.
tell me a little bit about, because last time I think you had the names of the people and who they were. I didn't know whether you've revealed
We
that.
have just about to. It's been kind of hard to pick. There's added 2 new
That's
categories.
a good thing,
It
it's
is.
hard to pick.
It is.
Isn't it
Oh,
great
yeah.
to have, like,
Too many to
So-
choose from.
oh, we got so many great people.
Right, we're just about to make our nominations known. But we also added 2 new categories for organizations. So that's one of the sticking points, is one's for global
citizenship.
and diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility, and belonging organizations that represent those
Okay.
goals. And we have the 2 organizations. We have 5 categories of people: business and entrepreneurship, and civic engagement, distinguished career, and community service. That's the one that we're hung up on.
How do you get the names of
People nominate them, and then people on our board come up with names of people we want to honor. We also will honor, this is our second year, so our ICCR, someone who's volunteered with us. We do have honorary co-chairs. I'm very excited. It's going to be Assembly members Pat Fahey
John McDonald.
and John McDonald. So we're super excited, because they host a lot of our visitors. I email them and their staff, and I say, hey, we got a group coming in. They want to talk to so-and-so about this or that. And they
You have a
always
lot of
just
coordinating to do.
It's a lot of coordinating,
and
yeah.
What do you do about language? Or is there a language barrier sometimes, or?
Not really.
They usually have a translator.
They have a translator.
Oh, they have a translator.
They have, a lot of the groups have to speak English, at least some kind of, basic English. But I really have found it, when you're, especially with foreign people, you have to slow down. You have to look at them, you have to make that connection. It's not just you talking to them, listening to them, being a really good, active listener.
But, embrace the opportunity to just broaden your ability to communicate
Right.
to
Yeah.
everyone around the world.
And I think most people will try to learn a little bit of the language. If they come here, they want to learn a little English, and maybe people here want to learn a little bit of their language. It's just a respect to try and communicate with people.
Absolutely.
I'm always laughing at people when they have a language barrier and they yell. Like, that's going to make it better. You know? I don't know.
No, and it's listening, and it starts with looking and saying, can you pronounce your name?
Yes.
Like I have a student from Burma who's interning with me, and his name is H-T-E-D, and it's like, how do you say it? And it's not, you don't say the H, it's Tet is his name.
I know.
And it just started,
And
that
I
kind of
do
connection.
try,
and
I
music.
think it's
Yeah.
important to try and pronounce, it's a form of respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just, I mean, sometimes I stumble over names terribly, and
You know I
it's
don't
like,
have a problem with my name being spelled every day.
now your name is spelled
I have
differently.
unique names. Yeah, people logjam, I put apostrophe in there whenever they get the chance, but I think it's built up my patience over the years.
Okay, it does build up.
Well, I know my middle name, Holly Planells, McKenna Planells, is a Basque name. And I dropped it when I got married because so many people butchered it, and I
I
decided
know, because
to resurrect
when I
it.
typed it, it was like, now wait a minute, are those
lot of
letters
Ls.
right? Did I get that?
It's a lot of L's. But again, because people don't spend the time to say, how do you say that? They call it Planells or Plains, or, and it's like Planells, it's a Spanish, French, it's from the Pyrenees Mountains. But when you are around that world all the time, it just makes you so much more aware of that. And, you know, you start to listen and like, okay, maybe this person has a very heavy accent, but they're still speaking to you. So
Yeah.
just take the time to listen.
Take the time to
Take the
listen.
listen and get to know them, and it's
Yes.
really just so rewarding. So we love volunteers, we love, you know,
So
and
if you want to volunteer,
Yeah.
if you want to volunteer a dinner, they'd probably be happy to
all kinds of
work with
opportunity. You can go to our website, iccralbany.org, and see what we're up to. We'll be updating the awards information as we speak.
So
Ray
they
is
have
my-
to look at your website.
My
to
right
find
hand,
out.
yes, right-hand person with regard to marketing, website work, video work, photography. He's
We're-
How long have you been
we're-
in the job,
15
Grace?
About a couple months actually, started in July, but
yeah.
I've hit the
Still
ground
getting
running.
your feet wet?
Oh, no, I'm soaked. I'm soaked.
Yeah,
We're,
he's
we're,
soaked.
we're neck high.
I think you probably have one of the best jobs.
I think so too, yeah.
Because to me, this would be so exciting because it's not routine, and
No.
you're meeting new people all the time.
Yep, and every time we get visitors, I look up some of their cuisine and I make something just so I have something to talk to them about. So it's
Well,
also
yeah,
delicious.
because you want to prep yourself.
Yes, yeah.
Like, you know, you get a country and say, where exactly is that? You know, and you don't want to be talking like it's here, but it's really over there, you know?
current events related to like people from Ethiopia. They've lost 1 million people in the wars in Ethiopia this year. I mean, just the fact that they were able to come and have.
But to
have a-
acknowledge,
Absolutely.
I'm so sorry about what happened in your country. That means so much to them that you even care to check on
We're
it.
here to support you, and the fact that our government is sending people here so they can help grow their economies or help their democracies, or, you know, whatever is
Yeah.
their need.
You try and stay out of the politics of it and just be
Yeah.
person
So
to
we act as
person.
ambassadors for that same
Yeah,
sense.
citizen ambassadors, that's what we are, citizen
I
diplomats.
love citizen
And we have
ambassadors.
people who do public diplomacy at the high level with Secretary Lixon and others who are helping,
Well,
having a
and
dinner.
one of the things that has happened to me is like I've been, actually it's China, so I've been to China a few times. And I'll hear people say something about China, and I go, well, that's really not true. So when that person comes from another country here, and they say, well, those Americans, they go, no, wait a minute, that's not really, it's that understanding that you're fostering, I think, that creates the, well, just to dispel some of the generalities that people get.
Well, you just use a great word, fostering. That means that someone hasn't taken the time to nurture the relationship between themselves and the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So it takes some time to nurture what your how you feel and how you react and where your role is
Yeah.
in a lot of this place. But we act as the citizen ambassadors to help make sure that when our visitors come to the capital region, that they are welcome, that they will learn, and we will all culturally diffuse.
So important. What you do is so important. It really is so important. Understanding is the most important thing
And
to
having
world
fun.
peace eventually.
We
And
do
have
have
fun.
fun.
And have fun.
And it's also like I took this job on when World Refugee Day was happening, and I felt like our piece of it is that we were trying to help stabilize, give the leaders the skills they need, the connections, because it's people they can rely on here to say, hey, I have this problem, can you help me? That they can come back, and hopefully it'll keep their country stable, so they won't end up in a war situation or a refugee situation. So,
Exactly.
so we're not involved in that direct support anymore, but our heart is still there.
Yeah, your heart is
Our
there.
mission is to foster
So
all that
your
exchange.
event is in November,
Yes.
and it's
November
the
7th.
Hilton over in Clifton Park.
Yes.
Up in Clifton Park. I should say.
Yes.
So we want to encourage people to perhaps get involved as a volunteer, perhaps get involved as opening up your home. I'm sure that all you have to do is go to their website or give them a call. They're nice people. So give them-
Ann is a member. She was. you
Yes, I
mentioned
did. I
the
joined
passport.
because I
We're going
thought
to
that
be
was so
starting a
easy.
new campaign. We have
And
a
I
new
even went to
campaign.
one of your restaurants. So
Good,
that's-
wonderful.
Thank you
That's
so
great.
much for
Thank
being
you.
here. It's a pleasure to know what you're doing.
Thank you very much.